Salting her up, guys. I don't want none of that hair to slip. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a lot of salt too. These salt ain't too expensive. After this I'll do the tanning solution, but the brains pretty much got smashed out of it from the car accident that it was in. And I think what I'm going to have to do is make my own solution out of the egg. I just want to show you how I'm coating this thing, and I'm going to lay it on a table and coat it a little bit better, get that all worked in. And that's so that hair won't slip on us. Down here is pretty mangled too, where you gotta hit pretty hard. Alright. I'm gonna let this thing stay salted for a good 24 hours. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do my actual tanning solution on it. And like I say, we'll have to do the egg and mayonnaise and vegetable oil again, because there wasn't nothing left of that brain. Cool. Alright guys, it's been about 24 hours since I salted this, and what the salt's going to do is lock in them hairs, or fur, whatever you want to call it. But I did want to take this time and let you know that this was inspired by Tribe of Benjamin. I want to give a big shout out to him. He's got a great channel. He did a 3-part video doing a gray fox like this and made it into a quiver. And that's pretty much why I'm doing this, is after seeing him do that, I want to make a quiver out of a fox hide, so that's where we're at. So stay tuned guys, and we'll get on to the next step. Alright, I've been busy guys, working on this hide a little bit. And I also made myself a set of rattles for rattling this year. Trying to get them big bucks in. It's just something simple, but it's a nice big thick set of antlers that were busted up a little bit from them fighting. But make a good rattle. But onto this fox. And I know I kept calling this thing a red fox, but this is actually a gray fox. And since he was hit by a car, his brain wasn't too much left of it, so I'm going to substitute his brain with some eggs. Actually, you could use 1 egg for an animal this size, but I'm going to go ahead and do 2. I want to make a real good mixture up. And I like to add mayonnaise, that fattiness in the mayonnaise, and it kind of helps make a paste, or some brain matter, if you will. But let you guys get a look at this. Looking pretty good. The hair's definitely stayed in. They're not wanting to pull, so I don't think it's slipped. I got it stretched on this board, face and all. What I'm going to do now is get rid of this salt, and then we'll start mixing up this, the solution. I got some real hot water here also. And I'm going to use Ben's idea with a damp towel to roll it up in when I'm done. Now, since I'm not going to roll the tail up, since it did come off, but I'm going to be able to sew that up real easy. I'm going to work that real soft, and after I work all this, I'm going to sew that back together once it's tanned, and then I'll smoke it up. Get a good cure on it after we smoke it. But stay tuned, guys. Alright, I'm getting ready to do the egg and the mayo. One thing I did here was to not use the whites, because it's like a stiffening agent, and it will stiffen up your hide. So I've been kind of sticking to that. I used to always just do the egg whites and everything, but I've been watching other guys on YouTube, and they were saying how not to use the whites, and it kind of makes sense. So Try to get rid of as much of the white as I can. Throw that in there. And I'm making more than what I need, but that way I can really get a good mixture in there. That's that almost boiling water. You don't want it boiling. One thing you find out on these fox hides though, they're a real thin skin. Real thin skin. The other side, I got a few little holes in it when I was skinning it. And remind you, it's roadkill also. I'm just trying to do the best I can. But what I'm gonna do is work this all into the hide, and we'll wrap it up in this damp towel, let it soak. I like to do it for a 24-hour period and then get right on it, start stretching it, working them fibers and loosening it up and get a nice worked tan. I'm really going to work this stuff in. But I think I got lucky on none of the hair slipped. Like I say, I'm really going to overdo it. And I like that mayo because it kind of helps make it pasty and gives it something to stick with, I guess. Brains are a little more stickier than the egg, I think, than just plain egg. This kind of gives it a brain matter effect. I gotta remember to get the tail also. Both sides, of course, but really want that face to come out good. So I think it'll be a big part of the quiver, the way I'm going to make this quiver. Flipper. It's kind of a bummer the tail came off, but no big deal. I'll sew it up, but you can see how thin this hide is. Got a little hole right there, but I think I can handle that. And then once it's all done, before I turn it into a quiver, I'm going to wash it real good. Make it smell real pretty. I'm even going to put some on its nose itself and the ears. The ears I don't care if they're stiff because I kind of want them to stand up like a fox's would. Like I say, I'm going to use all this, and it may take another coating of this if it doesn't soften up how I want. But it's already fairly soft. It didn't get real hard from the salt, and I'm glad, so it'll be easier to work. I just don't want it to rot and cause any problems with the hair slippage. Very cool. Okay, I want to get the tail. I split the tail because these tails, I tried not to, but I was thinking, man, it's going to end up rotting if I don't. I put salt down in it while it was still whole, but I'm thinking to sew it up and everything and stitching it, it'll come out better. But it sure is a pretty tail. I'm not going to wrap the tail up in it. In the towel anyways. And I'll have to wash it up because I do got egg on the fur. I'm going to give a good coating of that on this so I can really work it like leather too. Well, the solution's all on and worked in real good. Get them corners and everything. Might as well use it all up. Like I say, I really want that face to come out good. And the lower jaw and everything, because I got all the face, so it should look pretty good. I thought this was a real good idea of wrapping it up in a towel like that. Kind of keep it all worked in and let it slowly seep into the skin itself. All right, guys. All right, I got it all wrapped up, ready to go. Next, we'll let this soak in for a good 24 hours, and tomorrow I'll bring it back on, and we'll start working this hide and getting it real loosened up. Might use a board, might use a log. I'm thinking about using a cable too, because that's a real quick way of getting it, start breaking them fibers down and get that nice and soft. So it should make a real good quiver, guys. So hang tight for the next scene.